It's tax season, and at LifeLock, we know you're tired of numbers. But here's a big one you need to hear. Billions. That's the amount of money in refunds the IRS has flagged for possible identity fraud. Now here's another big number. 100 million. That's how many data points LifeLock monitors every second. If your identity is stolen, we'll fix it guaranteed. One last big number. Save up to 40% your first year. Visit LifeLock.com/podcast for the threats you can't control. Terms apply.
Listen, all you New Yorkers. Excuse me. Taxi. Okay, man, we're looking around.
This is the 77 WABC minicast.
Yankees and Giants, let's talk to the best baseball writer in the business, whether it's the New York Post or MLB.com, our friend Jon Heyman. John, happy opening day, buddy. How are you?
Happy opening day. I'm jealous you got an invite to Legends. I think I've been there once in 40 years.
Really?
Good job.
Well, it just goes to show you, John, I'm a big-time guy.
You are, Sidney.
You are, too. I think you're the best baseball writer in the business. I really do mean that. I will tell you, I started today's show. I don't usually do this. I very rarely take phone calls on this show. It's not the fan, okay? I don't care what Jimmy in Brooklyn thinks. But we did we did take calls to start the show. And I said, are you excited about baseball? And the few calls that we took, all of them complained that, A, it's a West Coast game, doesn't start until 8:35 tonight. But the biggest complaint was you can only watch the Yankee game tonight, Jon Heyman, on Netflix.
Is that right? I'm going to have to work to figure out how do I watch it.
Yeah.
I mean, I saw the list of all the different places that baseball appears and all the different subscriptions. It added up to, I don't know, somebody had it. It was like $280 to get them all. But
Right.
You know what? That's probably cheaper than a good box seat at Yankee Stadium. So you can watch the whole season that way, I guess, from home. Rather than go to the games,
but it does show you. But it does show you, John, what's happening tonight with the Yankees and Giants. The game being on Netflix, and most people don't have Netflix. I've got it, but most people don't. That is showing you the future of Major League Baseball. You know, the good old days of putting on Channel 11, Channel 9, and watching a Met or Yankee game. They are, or even SNY or Yes, they're going away, John. They're going away.
Channel 11, you're bringing back memories, Sid. I love it. I mean, it's a different world. No question about that. At least the game's not a night game in San Francisco, an 11 o'clock start. I think I'll even be able to stay up for this one. So at least it's 8:30. So we got that going for us.
Well, it's 5:35 start in San Francisco. Are you out there right now?
I'm going to do a Mets tomorrow. I'm with the home team here against the Pirates. That should be a great one. Peralta and Skeens, you don't get much better than that, so I'm staying with the Mets tomorrow.
Well, Skeens, certainly. Peralta, pretty good pitcher. Nice acquisition by the Mets. We'll find out just how good he is in a Met uniform. But for you, a guy that's covered this sport, again, for the better part of 4 decades, and I always wax very poetic. I become Bob Costas on opening day. I do love it. A lot of great memories with my dad and Shea Stadium and all that. And baseball fans tend to make opening day bigger than most people think it is because they just don't get it. But for you, John, opening day means what?
Oh, man, it's everything. It really is. I mean, your memories. My memory was driving in 1969 with my mother driving. I was 8 years old with my friend, and we were going to the game, and I don't know, we must have thought we could buy tickets at the window at Shea Stadium. It was sold out, and we ended up going bowling. So it was a sad memory, but I've been good since then. I'm good in the 50-something years since then, but that's my greatest memory, was missing Tom Seaver. I think he got shelled that game, by the way. Ended up being a pretty good season for the Mets, though.
Yeah, I remember, and by the way, if you were watching Met games way back when on Channel 9, you mentioned bowling. I think Bowling for Dollars was on right before Bob Murphy would come on.
I love that show.
I know, it's a great show. And talking about Seaver getting shelled opening day, you'll talk about the Mets coming up, but I'll never forget that one Dwight Gooden start, the Doc, up against the Cubs, when a guy named Tuppy Rhodes on opening day hit not one, not two, but 3 home runs off Dwight Gooden, and every baseball fan said, who the hell is Tuppy Rhodes? You remember that day, right?
Anything can happen on opening day. I mean, it is amazing. O'Neill from the Orioles has hit home runs every opening day he plays, so we'll see if he does that. But, yes, I remember at Wrigley, I was covering the Yankees in those days, but I couldn't believe it. Tuffy wrote, every day, every guy has his day, and that was his day.
I think O'Neill's now homered 6 consecutive opening days. That is the record. Most home runs for a Yankee opening day is 4. That would be Yogi Berra. And the most home runs on opening day in baseball history is 8. And that was the great Frank Robinson. Let's get to the Yankees. So, Game 1, San Francisco tonight. I had Levine on this show, the president, just about a week and a half ago. He's really optimistic. Of course he is, but he is and confident. He likes Bednar at the back of that bullpen. He likes the fact they brought back Bellinger and Grisham, and he really likes that lineup. He seems to think his Yankee team is as good, if not better, than anybody else inside the American League. But, Jon Heyman, what do you think?
I think he's right. I think the Yankees are probably the best team in the American League. I mean, on paper you can't beat the Dodgers, 2-time defending world champion, 3 in 6 years. But, the Yankees are running it back, but they are much better somehow. Even though they got the same exact players, basically, other than Devin Williams and Luke Weaver, they're all coming back. I've never seen a team love its team so much that they brought everybody back, basically. Even Blackburn is back. They're all back. Bellinger, that was the big one. I feel that this team is better than last year's team, even though it's the same team, because you're going to have Garrett Cole, and I think he looked great in spring training. It might even be mid-May, not June 1st for him. Giancarlo Stanton hitting rockets all over on the west coast of Florida last spring. He wasn't able to play, didn't come back until mid-June. You've got Rodon coming back. You've got Schmidt coming back. They did add Weathers. Now, he didn't look that great in spring training, to be honest there, but it does feel that if everyone's healthy, this could be the best Yankee rotation we have seen in a long time. Once it's all back together, certainly with Cole, Rodon, by June 1st, and then you got Schmidt coming back in the second half. It feels like a very, very good rotation. Schlittler, it looked amazing.
Right, he's great, too.
In spring training, amazing.
Yeah. No, listen, that's the best pitching staff in baseball. If they're all healthy, there's no question about it. But you'd also have to admit that, inside that division, Toronto, that team went to the World Series last year. Baltimore added Pete Alonso, other pieces, the former great Met. Red Sox got better, too. So, yeah, the Yankees are the best team, but Detroit may be tough in the Central, but I think you'd agree that the other teams inside that division got better, while, as you just pointed out, the Yankees pretty much status quo.
Yeah, the one thing I would say is Toronto, a lot of injuries right now. Savage, their rookie phenom last year, is out. They have 2 other starters out. So I would be a little worried if I'm looking at the Blue Jays right now. I agree, Baltimore got better. Boston's pitching is outstanding. They didn't get that big hitter that they wanted to get. They did add Contreras, but they were looking at Alonso. They wanted to bring back Bregman, and they didn't do it. It does feel that there is a pretty significant gap between the Yankees and the other teams, and I get it. The Yankees and Toronto, they both won 94 last year. Toronto killed them in the playoffs, but so many injuries right now with that Toronto pitching staff. I like what they did. They added Cease. You still got Gausman. Max Scherzer, we had on the New York Post podcast starting today. Looked great. Didn't give a run in spring training, but he is 41 years old. It does feel like they have some injuries in that rotation, though. So that, to me, is the big difference between the Yankees and the Blue Jays, which, I think a lot of people are looking at the Blue Jays as a potential winner in that division. I don't see it that way. I think it's the Yankees' year.
So one more with the Yanks, a great Jon Heyman here, New York Post, MLB Network. I guess most Yankee fans, they feel pretty good about the lineup. If they're healthy, you said Stanton's healthy, that's great. Aaron stays healthy. And we talked about the starting pitching. I guess it's the bullpen. Again, they added Bednar at the back of that bullpen. That's terrific, but there are still questions. Randy Levine played these down last week. He said he likes the arms they've got in that Yankee bullpen. What does Jon Heyman think?
Well, I think Randy Levine makes a great PR man. I think that's the big question of both of our teams is the bullpen right now. Bednar, I like him. Let's not forget he was sent to the minors by Pittsburgh only a year ago. Now he did perform spectacularly for the Yankees in the second half. It was a great pickup. I like him overall. I don't see a deep bullpen at this point. It wasn't a great bullpen last year. They lost 2 of the better pitchers in that bullpen, Devin Williams and Luke Weaver. They didn't make any significant adds. So to me, that is the question with the bullpen. Now, I will say this, Brian Cashman, that is one of his specialties, is building a bullpen. We'll see how it goes. They had a kid in spring training throwing 103 miles an hour, dominating in Florida. They gave him a reward to pitch against the Cubs. A-team in Mesa 2 days ago, and he got shelled. But as a reliever, I think the scouts feel that this guy is going to be special this year. He'll start out in Scranton Wilkes-Barre as a starter, but I think he could be a significant add to the bullpen at the end of the year.